Picture this. A powerful empress, the ruler of a massive empire, dies suddenly, and the official word is she had a stroke. But could that be the whole truth? Was her death really that simple, or was there something darker behind it? What if the truth was buried by those closest to her? Today, we dive into the mystery surrounding Catherine the Great's death and uncover a side of her life you won't believe. So, buckle up. Hit the like and subscribe button because you're about to hear one of the craziest and hidden stories. Catherine wasn't born into royalty. She was a minor German princess, Sophie Friederike Auguste, but fate had grander plans. At just 16, she was married off to the future Emperor Peter III of Russia. What should have been a fairy tale life turned into a cold, loveless marriage with an impotent and ineffectual man. Yet, Catherine refused to be bound by a life of misery. She adapted quickly to Russian life, learning the language, the culture, and more importantly, the art of court politics. But Catherine's rise to power wasn't just about intellect. Behind closed doors, she indulged in desires that would shock the world. By the 1770s, at the height of her reign, Catherine had a secret world, one she kept hidden from the public eye. Her bedroom was filled with furniture designed not for sitting, but for pleasure. Imagine this: chairs and tables intricately carved with human anatomy, secret compartments for hiding erotic art, and items made specifically for private acts. At the center of it all was her infamous throne of pleasure, a chair with secret mechanisms that could shift into countless positions. It was the epitome of indulgence, designed for Catherine's own exploration of her deepest desires. Catherine commissioned French craftsmen to create these pieces, each one sworn to silence. They were bound by a promise to never speak of the nature of their work, under penalty of death. These craftsmen, who were paid handsomely for their secrecy, created items that would forever remain hidden from the public eye. So, let me ask you this. If you were one of those craftsmen and I offered you $1 million to expose Catherine's secret, would you stay silent? Or would you reveal to the world the true depths of her indulgence? By day, Catherine was the embodiment of Russian power, writing letters, strengthening alliances, and making bold decisions to ensure Russia's place on the world stage. But by night, she retreated into this world of sensual exploration, a world far from the public's view and perhaps even from the knowledge of those closest to her. Her sexual appetites were not limited to these erotic devices, though. Catherine had dozens of lovers, many of whom rose to positions of power under her reign. Yet, these affairs were not simply about pleasure. Catherine used her lovers as political pawns, her relationships carefully selected to further her empire's ambitions. While she expanded Russia's borders and reshaped its political landscape, she was also indulging in a personal life filled with scandal, manipulation, and absolute secrecy. But despite her indulgences and the salacious rumors surrounding her private life, Catherine proved herself as a brilliant ruler. She expanded Russia's borders, strengthened its military, and drove the nation into an era of intellectual and cultural flourishing. But the higher she climbed, the darker the world around her became. When Catherine's husband, Peter III, was overthrown in a coup, it wasn't just a political maneuver. It was the beginning of her ruthless pursuit of power. Some believe she had a hand in his downfall, perhaps even orchestrating his assassination to secure the throne for herself. Catherine's political prowess was undeniable, but her methods were sometimes just as ruthless as the men who had ruled before her. The question lingers: did she kill her husband, or did she simply outmaneuver him? Years passed, and Catherine continued to rule Russia with an iron fist. But as she grew older, the once vibrant empress became more isolated. Her final lover, the powerful Grigory Potemkin, had died, and the court she once ruled with grace was now filled with silence. Loneliness seemed to have crept into her life, and as she aged, the indulgences and excesses of her earlier years began to catch up with her. And then, on November 17th, 1796, Catherine was found dead. The official cause, a stroke. She had fallen into a coma, and within hours she was gone. The announcement was swift, and the empire mourned. But something didn't feel right. This was a woman who had spent her life defying death, manipulating fate, and ruling with unyielding power. Could her death really have been so simple? Whispers began almost immediately. Was Catherine poisoned? After all, she had enemies, plenty of them. People who resented her power, her excess, her dominance. Poison was a well-known method of assassination in the Russian court, and those close to her had been known to use it in the past. Some believe it wasn't a stroke at all, but rather a carefully planned poisoning by those who had reason to see her fall. But there's another theory, one far more shocking. The most grotesque rumor to surface was that Catherine died during a sexual encounter with a horse. Yes, you heard that right. Some say she was attempting to engage in bestiality when the horse's harness collapsed, crushing her. Though it's almost certainly just a malicious myth to tarnish her reputation, it remains a part of the grotesque legend surrounding her life and death. In the aftermath of her death, the Russian court was swift to announce the official cause, stroke, and the rumors slowly faded into the shadows. But the truth, as always, remains elusive. Did Catherine die peacefully in her sleep, or was she the victim of a cover-up? One orchestrated by those who sought to protect the empire's reputation. Was her death a natural result of old age and excess, or was it something darker? Catherine the Great's life was a fascinating paradox. She was a woman of power, brilliance, and sexual excess, yet also a ruler whose private indulgences were hidden behind the closed doors of her palaces. But as her death shows, the lines between her public and private life were never as clear as they seemed. And perhaps that's the most fitting legacy she left behind. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to leave us a like and follow this channel for more mysterious stories.